Igarashi from Japan Tokyo International University, and I would like to make, well, some general comments and also some detailed comments, right? Details, specific comments, I mean. Well, first of all, I would like to ask you a question, okay? I would like you to ask you a question. What do you think is the most important thing when you make a presentation? What do you think is the most important things you need to think of when you're giving a presentation? Everybody, your idea. Yes?
Competence.
Competence. Okay. Any other? Yes?
Content of the presentation.
Content of the presentation. Okay. Any other idea?
Message should be left in the audience.
Okay. Message should be left in the audience. All right. Yes?
Outline. The outline.
Outline. Okay. Outline.
Humor.
Humor. Okay. Good. Good. There are lots and lots of ideas coming up. Okay. Another. The last one. Okay. Good. Good what? Good content. Okay, good. Okay, so everybody's correct. Everybody's correct. But you need to forget, you shouldn't forget one thing. You know, Dr. Sakamoto just mentioned part of it. Do you remember? The most important thing is you are giving a presentation. So, who is the main character, or what is the main character on stage? That's number one. And second, for whom are you talking? Right? Now, the answer here for two questions. First, the main character is you, the speaker, yes. But for whom you are talking, not for you, for the
Audience.
Good job. Right? So that means everything comes from that perspective. Everything comes from that point of view. Okay? So, for giving speech style or way of talking, you need to think about two things. First, of course, the voice control, or how you speak. The other is your body and visual element control. Alright? Now, there are 6 elements for both of them. Remember. Try to remember today, okay? For the voice control, first, you need to breathe correctly. That's called the diaphragm breathing. Ooh, difficult word. But anyway, that means that you should pay attention to your stomach, muscle here. Right? That way, your voice will sound better. Okay? So don't use the microphone near your mouth. Okay? Like this. To do that, you need to breathe and speak correctly. Use your voice. Right? Now, the second thing, third thing, and fourth thing go together. Voice, volume, how loudly, volume, and speed or the rate, how fast you speak, and also tone, high or low. Those three go together. Okay, remember. And finally, two things. Correct pronunciation and clearness. Clearness. Okay, so 6 things. Okay, and especially for the pronunciation and the clearness part, a lot of you have had good pronunciation, good job, but clearness is very important. Okay? Clear. Not clear doesn't mean good pronunciation. If you have good pronunciation, you may not be clear enough. Yeah, that's good. So clearness, and also, especially when you are talking in a foreign language, or even if you are a native speaker, when you are on stage giving the presentation, you should slow down. You should slow down. So, fluent speaker doesn't mean that you're a good presenter. Alright? So, if you want your audience to understand you, then speak a little bit slower than usual. Right? That's very important. Okay. And for the loudness, tone, and speed, you need to change sometimes. If you speak in the same way, then it makes people easily sleep. Right? So change gears. So sometimes you may want to speak fast, but you sometimes slow down, or big or small. And for example, and also the important thing is you need to use good pauses. So, for example, today's key topic is cooperation. That way you will put emphasis on the word cooperation. Right? So that's the key. Alright, now the body movement. Of course, one important thing is eye contact. Second, posture, as one of the judges said, and gesture. Gesture should be effective. This should not be too excessive. Every gesture must have meaning. Right? So posture, or how you stand or sit, and movement, gesture, and then facial expression, and your dress and visual elements, slides or whatever, and how you stand. How you stand, this is one of the most important things that you need to pay attention today. Well, where you should stand, in front of the slide or beside the slide. One thing that I noticed that's not so effective is, standing in line. It's not effective. That's destructive. The main speaker, should be the one who is speaking, and the other people should not be seen. Because that way, judges or audience's attention will go everywhere. And another not so good way is speaking one by one, this side, that side, this side, that side, that way. Then, for example, me, who's speaking now? Right? So, please think about that. Of course, everyone should be on stage, but that doesn't mean that everyone should be on stage at the same time, or you should speak one by one, that's this side, that way. Why? Because try to think from the listener's point of view. Because for whom you are speaking, for the listeners, you are talking, right? That's important. And finally, for this specific and also general comments, what is a presentation? Actually, the presentation is not one person to the many people talking. It's even if there are a lot of people here, presentation from the listener's point of view, it should be one-to-one communication. Conversation. So that's why you need good eye contact. And that's why you need to think of the audience. Right? So please think of those things. Then you will, today you did a good job, but next year or anyway, after New Year, maybe you will be a much better